We welcome you back to the WHHI Daily News. You know, if Hilton Head has a landmark, it is, of course, the lighthouse at Sea Pines. If Bluffton has a landmark, it might just be the Cottage restaurant. It has been a staple in Bluffton forever. It is universally acclaimed, and now its owner and head chef and bottle washer and all that other good stuff, Leslie Rohland, has been named one of the state's chef ambassadors for the coming year. Leslie, welcome in. What's that mean? What was the phone call like when you found out?
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It was pretty overwhelming. At first, I kind of thought maybe it was just like an interview or something.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand the scope of it. It is shrouded in tremendous secrecy from whence you find out. That initial realization of what was happening was overwhelming. I mean, full of privilege and honor to be a part of it, but wow, really like stunning.
This is going to make this next year a little busier for you. Tell me what the chef ambassador does. You are one of 3 in the state. What are you guys going to do?
Correct. So chef ambassadors, very interesting position, sort of like a liaison, between the Department of Ag, Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, and then the locals and the visitors. So we do a lot of culinary knowledge, like sharing recipe history, talking about the recipes we want to do, demonstrating those recipes, and then also really engaging with the agricultural bounty of South Carolina, indigenous, specific to our region, yeah, but also overwhelmingly in South Carolina.
But this is stuff you've been doing for decades now, I think. Tell us a little bit about the magic of the cottage.
Magic of the cottage. So, originally it was supposed to be originally I was going to do a bake shop, kind of like in the style of what was really popular in New York City at the time.
Yeah.
And this was, right around end of 2008, 2009, when things weren't going so well. And I was doing the farmers market of Bluffton. It was our first year, and I started a little company called the Bluffton Muffin Company. And I discovered a real passion for baking. I discovered a real a likeness for engaging with the public, more so than I had done previously. At the time, I was running the Jazz Corner.
Right.
And someone said, hey, go look at that cottage over there on Calhoun Street and talk to the guy that owns it. And I said, okay. So I had this whole bake shop in mind. And then I walked up to the cottage and I went inside the cottage, and in minutes, everything changed. And it became, a tea room. It became, this is where we're going to put the tiny kitchen, and just the overwhelming architecture, the Southern feel to it, the history behind the cottage, just kind of reinvented a menu and kind of reinvented the culture we wanted to have, and what kind of experience ultimately we wanted to offer the guests.
The menu is what makes it so special. I mean, yes, it's a wonderful bakery, and every time I walk in there, I walk out with something to eat later that adds calories. But coming in, walking in the door, and opening that menu, it's a special time. You are as imaginative a person with food as I think any artist would be.
I thank you so much for that. And I do have to blame my parents for that. We were raised in several countries, and we were exposed at a very young age to several different kinds of cuisine. So I think our palates developed at a very young age, thankfully. And I think that over the course of we're in our 15th year now.
Yeah.
And I think over the course of this time, the menu has pretty much evolved to what it is today. Mm-hmm. And it really has taken on this Southern, mm-hmm. I have a tremendous interest in culinary history, right? Where do these recipes come from? What makes them local? Who was eating this when? I really love that, especially in the South. And I think the menu has sort of taken on a life of its own, and I just kind of, I bow to the menu.
Well, the menu is terrific. Your performance of the cottage has become legendary, certainly in Bluffton and throughout the Lowcountry now. And now you are a chef ambassador for the state of South Carolina. Congratulations, Leslie. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's always an honor.
Leslie Rohland, the owner and founder and chef at the Cottage in Bluffton. We'll be back with more right after this.